You're listening to Your Evening Escape on 938 Now. The Edge Singapore is back on Your Evening Escape on a different form tonight. We have the CEO of EdgeProp.sg, which is a new portal that provides users with news, listings, and analysis, and is also part of the Edge Singapore as a property weekly. And we're talking to the CEO, Bernard Tong, joining us on the phone. Bernard, thanks for coming in on the show tonight. So what's happening in the property markets?
Good evening, team, and thank you for having me on the show. Let's talk about the hottest topic in the property market right now, which is the en bloc market. Actually, the en bloc fever kicked off early last year, and we're seeing more and more deals every day. For example, last Friday alone, there were 3 sites that were sold for a total of $950 million in a single day.
3 sites on one single day.
That's right, and the largest of them all was a site called Good Luck Garden, which was quite aptly named, which was sold to Ching Chen Realty for $610 million. So now, since the start of the year, there have been at least 12 en bloc sites sold for a total of $4.3 billion, and we are already more than half of the deals that were done last year. So most people expect that the total value of this year's en bloc deals to be even higher than last year's, and if it continues at the current pace, it could reach the peak in 2007 when $11.5 billion sites were sold en bloc. We estimate that there are between 130 to 150 condominiums at various stages of the collective sale process. Well, obviously, not all of them will be successful, but we've actually never seen quite an attempt like this.
Wow, very ambitious, I think, if you ask me. But do you think the government will have to step in and cool the en bloc market at some point?
Yeah, well, actually, since last November, developers have to consult the Land Transport Authority and conduct a feasibility study to determine the number of units they can actually develop on their en bloc site. This is to prevent putting too much strain on the existing road traffic. There's also the 1% increase in buyer stamp duty that was announced in the budget last month, which means developers now will have to pay more for these en bloc sites. And more recently, there was a hike in development charge for non-landed residential sites by an average of 22.8%, the highest ever in a decade. And for some of the developers who are actually starved for land, the alternative to the process, to this en bloc sales process, is the government land sales program. Actually, several prime sites have also been offered for sale through this channel. For instance, the mixed development site at Holland Village and the residential development site on Cascaden Road. And well, technically, the government could release more government land sales sites on the market in the second half this year to meet demand.
Okay, how are developers thinking about proceeding with these en bloc deals? Do they take us through the mentality or the trends that you're seeing in this aspect?
We are slowly seeing market forces coming into play. And at the end of the day, this is all about supply and demand. For example, last year, most of the en bloc sites found buyers at the close of the tender. However, what we are seeing today is that since December, there were actually a number of sites that were closed with no bids or were sold in private treaty deals after the close of the tender. For instance, some of the sites were Cane Hill Mansions, Riviera Point, Brookvale Park, and Pearlbank Apartments, which was recently sold to Capital Land. Developers now can afford to be more selective, but there are still developers out there who need to build up a land bank. So, for instance, Cole Brothers and Fragrance Group, who made their first en bloc purchases in 6 years. Whether the en bloc fever will cool depends largely on sellers' asking prices. If the asking prices are unrealistic or substantially above current market prices, this will obviously affect developers' interests. And with market prices on the uptrend, en bloc premiums are also likely to be compressed, and this could in turn affect the number of en bloc deals.
Okay, you mentioned earlier there are about 130, 150 properties that are in the process of a collective sale. Do you think this is sustainable?
Since the beginning of the year, we have seen on average maybe 2 to 4 new en bloc launches per week. It is hard to say how long this pace can be sustained. With so many new sites being launched for collective sale, the success rate will be lower than last year. But nonetheless, we believe that the overall number of deals will be higher than last year. Now, one of the things we have yet to mention is what happens to all the en bloc money. The en bloc sales will have a domino effect on the rest of the real estate market. Millionaire owners who have benefited from this will now be looking at where to actually put the money, whether it's a replacement condo, a 5-room flat in a central location, or even overseas properties. These asset classes will enjoy the benefit of the new en bloc funds. Well, on residential property in Singapore alone, we expect prices to increase about 10 to 12% this year. Now, if you talk to some of the owners of these older condos, it seems as though almost everyone who lives in a relatively old condo is now wondering if it has en bloc potential, which is not surprising, right, given the potential windfall.
Yeah.
So that's why on EdgeProp.sg we launched an en bloc calculator on our website last year, and it's actually one of the most popular tools today. All you need to do is to key in the name of the condo, and it will tell you the likelihood of it being put up for en bloc sale based on variables such as number of units, the age of property, plot ratio enhancement, and premium over surrounding sites. So if anyone is interested, you can actually check out our website at edgeprop.sg for the en bloc calculator, or to just look at available property listings in the marketplace.
Okay, but a key word there that you mentioned is the likelihood of it, but not don't expect anything, right?
Yeah, nothing is guaranteed in life, right?
Okay, thank you very much, Bernard. Bernard Tong there, the CEO of EdgeProp.sg, the property weekly that is part of the Edge Singapore. Thank you very much, Bernard, for joining us here.
Thank you, Tim.
You're listening to Your Evening Escape here on 938 Now.